What's going on, everybody? Today we're diving into a new first tape performance. This time around, it is for a group named Juice Equals Juice, and because I've not heard them before, I did a little bit of research, and I found out that this is not only their first time performing on the first take in general, but also the fact that they have been around for like a long time. Like there must be a very, very long going, I'm guessing J-pop group. So this is pretty cool for them that they're, after being in the industry for so long, they get to finally do something as massive as the first take. And the song they chose happens to be one of the most popular songs that they've had to date, called "You Can Live on Your Own." Is this a compliment or what? What a title, But this is actually very exciting, not only for me to be introduced to a new group, but also to see them be able to get their take on, or get their opportunity, I should say, to be on the first take, the first time ever, and hopefully it'll help them get some new fans, because I'm sure they're massive in Japan, but hopefully they can get some international fans in general too. So I'm excited to dive into this and to be introduced to a new group that maybe I'll become a massive fan of. So let's go ahead and do this thing. I'm so excited. Here we go. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Man, if they've been in the industry for that long, they all look so young still.
We are
How many people are there? They have to put them in two different recording areas because there's so many of them. What was that? I think I saw like 4 and 1, like 6. What is this, like a 10-member group? Holy moly. Hi, Ruru. Oh, they have two leaders.
入江梨沙です。江端木咲です。石山さくらです。遠藤あかりです。川島美穂です。林ニーナです。さあ、ジュース初めての
What the heck? There's so many of them.
これを見てる方、ジュース初めましての方
It
も
is, yes.
いらっしゃ
Hi.
るかも。
It's nice to meet you. Hi.
今日はジュースのライブをお届けしたいと思います。お願いします。
I already love their energy.
それではみんな準備はいいですか？
はい。
I'm so intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that was cute.
お願いします。一人で生きられそうってそれってね褒めているの意地引っ張る心だって誰かと貸してよ
What an interesting line here. Girls who are not so tough, they seem to achieve their happiness. That's interesting. So it seems like they're kind of tapping into the idea of like women like being able to I guess freely express themselves and almost show a side of vulnerability. And also kind of like going back to that first phrase of saying like what was it? Something along the lines of soften up my toughened heart or something like that. Or no, it was my stubborn heart. That's what it was. And so it sounds to me like they're kind of honing on the idea of like the messages for women, girls, young women, whatever you want to say, to be more willing and more like, I guess, not afraid to show a more vulnerable side and be willing to almost express their emotions. And the fact they're saying this, saying, girls who are not so tough, like, girls that might be a little bit more fragile or more open to, showing their vulnerability, seem to achieve their happiness. So it's almost like this idea of like, oh, you have to be willing to almost show a side of vulnerability to achieve happiness, which is a very interesting take on it. But I guess in a way, it's kind of true. Like maybe somebody who bottles up all their stuff inside and kind of just doesn't ever like express themselves might be less happy because they have so much bottled up inside they're not like, getting out. So I can almost kind of see where they're coming from with that, actually. So that makes sense, actually. Now I kind of retract what I was saying. I thought that might sound weird, but it's actually true. I can see that now. It makes sense. Yeah. Oh, they sound great together. Wow. Yes. There it is. Woo! I love this because, especially this one line back here, a line like I'm counting on you, and then next one, should I be happy about that? That's like, I feel like such a common phrase, I feel like, for somebody who really seems like they're tough on the inside, tough on the outside, but they are just extremely vulnerable on the inside, but just aren't like showing it or expressing it. Those types of people where they're like, you go up to them and you're like, oh my gosh, you seem like you're really well put together. You seem like you really handle your emotions well and whatnot. Like, I feel like I can really depend on you. And then for that person inside though is thinking, should I be happy about that? Should I be happy that I'm coming across as being this very strong, independent person that handles their emotions well, but on the inside I'm kind of like really suffering, because I'm not expressing what I would like to express for myself because I want to be tough. I want to make sure I don't come across as somebody who's weak. And you kind of see that going back here too. The bluffing that's covering its weakness. The fact that you're almost bluffing because you're covering up that weakness. You're covering up that vulnerability because you want to seem tough. Again, it's almost like this fake. It's like you put on this fake persona of somebody who's really tough, but on the inside you're almost like dying because you want to express yourself. You want to express your emotions, but you're afraid of being perceived as somebody who's very weak and very unreliable in a way. For some reason, like in society these days, we have this weird idea that being weak and showing vulnerability, whether it's for the men or whether it's for women or men, it shows like you're almost like, I don't know, almost just immature in a way. It's like you're almost like immature, you're unreliable, you're somebody that you just can't really rely on for some reason. I don't know why that is. I feel like, being able to show your vulnerability and being able to show your emotions is something that's extremely important in this day and age, especially because of all the absolute shit that we're going on, it's going on in the world. Living in a world like this, it's like the world we live in right now is not for the faint of hearted. It's a very tough world out there. So, it's important that like we really take the time to be able to go seek therapy when we need it, have close friends and family members we can talk to, and be able to really express ourselves, to not just bottle up everything inside and just basically be eaten alive by what we're dealing with. So I love this song, honestly. Love the message behind this. It's it's obviously very much tailored probably towards women because it's obviously coming from a girl group, but I feel like men can take this to heart too, honestly. Us men, like, we need to be willing to show emotion. We need to be able to show vulnerability and not be stuck in this category of men must be strong and we must be, the strong ones in the relationships and in marriages and blah blah blah. Like, no, that's just a silly thing to think. But yeah, love this message. And honestly, all the ladies sound great together. They sound great when they sing together. I'm loving this so far. I'm wondering what the original one sounds like, because I really kind of like some more like rock spin on it. They have such like cool, unique tones too. The only person who can make myself really happy is really myself. I've got to be brave. So true. Absolutely love that line. I love this. This is so good. They're so fun and bubbly. I love it. Yes. This is interesting to say. I want to stand tall and be able to love somebody. I'm wondering if this is like... I wonder if it's almost like a double edged sword here, where it's like, it's okay to be, you know, the emotional, very almost like vulnerable person, but also don't be afraid to be that person that is actually, you know, okay and well put together and can be like come across as tough. You know, the fact they're saying I want to stand tall and be able to love somebody. Although I'm also wondering, like, is that saying like I want to be able to love somebody, like I want to be able to let out those emotions to be able to show love. You know, maybe somebody who's kind of really tough on the outside and doesn't really seem approachable might feel like somebody who's not able to be loved because maybe they might kind of push that away. Maybe it seems like they might be kind of like a little harsh or like not somebody who's, you know, able to express or feel things, you know? So maybe that's actually what they're still saying. So maybe that is still the message, is the idea of being vulnerable. Because to say I would want to stand tall and be able to love somebody is saying I want to be able to show a vulnerable side. I want to be able to break down that exterior, that hardened exterior, I should say, to be able to show that, yes, I can be vulnerable, I can love people, and I can express my emotions. That's, I think, I think that's what they're going for with that. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. That was sick. That was so fun. That was awesome. I want them back more. Can we have them do more? They were so fun. That was so much fun. What the heck? I absolutely adore them. They are so fun. I can't believe, like, what did I see? Like, I think I saw something about them being in the industry for, what, 10 to 15 years already? What was that, what I saw? No, they're celebrating their 12th anniversary as a group. Which is crazy. Like, they all look so young. How have they already been in the industry for 12 years? That is nuts. Wow. Okay, here. This song is a powerful portrayal of women's genuine emotions, resonating not only with their fans, but with many others as well. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. Basically, the idea of portraying women's general emotions. Okay, I was about right about that. Yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, honestly, I really love that message. Genuinely, like, I think it's so important that, you know, it's important for both women and for men, honestly, to really be willing to show your emotions and be able to almost show that, you know, you don't always have to be strong and tough and, you know, all kept together. Like, it's okay to have those days or weeks or months or just a time period of your life where you really are just going through it, you know? You're just really trying to almost survive sometimes. And believe me, I've been there in my life too. I have been there many more times than I'd like to admit. And it's okay, because I'm still chugging along. I'm still going. And that's the important part, is you can have those moments. But the important thing is, when you do have those moments, find somebody you know you can talk to about this, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a family member, friends, your loved one, you know, whatever the case may be, find somebody you know you can rely on that's going to not expose that part of you and kind of take that advantage of you, but let them be there actually for you, to be able to allow you to vent, to get something off something off your chest, also kind of like venting, but you know what I mean, to like release just those emotions and things, whatever you're trying to hide inside, because it's very important that in a world that we live in right now, to just be willing to let those feelings out, those emotions, your insecurities, your, thoughts on certain topics or whatever, your worries, whatever the case may be. It's very important that we don't just bottle those things up inside, because it'll eventually eat you alive, and that's not fair to us. Like, we are humans. We are meant to feel things. We are meant to feel feelings. We're meant to feel vulnerable. We are meant to express ourselves. So why would we hide that from each other? Why would we hide that from each other? We should be willing to be human, is the best way to put it, honestly. But yeah, honestly, these girls are awesome. I guess technically they're probably ladies. Whatever. These ladies are awesome. I love that song. I love the message behind it. I would love to dive more into them, whether it's on my own time or on the channel. So if you guys want me to dive more into them on the channel, let me know in the comments down below, because they seem like a really genuinely just awesome, very pop, very bubbly. That's what I wanted for some reason. I don't know why I went pop. They're a very bubbly, very fun group, and I feel like their music would just be just so like cute, but also very energetic in a way. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what the rest of their songs sound like. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you want to keep reacting to them, and I will do that for you guys if you would like me to. So anyways, guys, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel down below, and because this is my first time ever reacting to Juice Equals Juice, I'll actually go ahead and place my reaction playlist for the other first take performances of various groups and different idols out there that I've reacted to, and put that over here for you guys, and I'll go ahead and place my most recent reaction to a first take performance over here. As always, thank you all for watching, show them support, and I'll see you all in the next video. Alright guys, bye!